Welcome to our live Q&A. We are so glad that you're here today because we've got an awesome show picked out for you. We've got Dustin. He's going to be asking Collin and Cooper some really cool questions about a recent deal that they've closed. And we're going to kind of get an insider look at what it's like to be in these PACE communities, whether you're in sub 2, top tier TC, or Gator, and kind of like all of the magic that happens behind the scenes, because we know being in real estate, it is some hard work. So having that community of people, go-givers that you surround yourself with is super, super imperative. So thank you for being here again. My name is Alex. I am going to be moderating today. So I'll kind of be behind the scenes, but throughout this live, if you have any questions for Collin or Cooper or even Dustin, feel free to drop that in the comments, and then I will pop your question up to the live. So without further ado, Dustin, go ahead and take it away.
Dustin, we can't hear you very well. I don't know, Collin, can you hear Dustin?
No, I can't. Cannot.
At all. We can't not hear you very well. We can't hear you at all. Still no volume on my end.
Yeah, none on mine. Can you hear me?
I got you, Collin. Yep.
Okay.
Some technical.
Yeah, you're muted, Dustin.
It shows that you're muted right now, Dustin.
I just unplugged. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. This is live. This is live recording, right? We're troubleshooting on the fly. Apparently, my mic died. So
Nothing wrong with that.
Appreciate everybody putting up with that. So yeah, good to be here with you guys. Good to be here with everybody that's streaming and watching this, talking all things creative, community, all that kind of stuff. You guys have a couple really fun deals that you brought in and talked about. So let's jump into it. For everybody watching out there, we would love to answer whatever questions you have. So please drop them in the chat below so that Alex can let us know what they are. And we want interaction makes this thing run and function. So please hit us up with anything that's on your mind. So Collin, give us the 30,000 foot view, the overview of your deal real quick. I know you shared it in more in depth, but kind of give us the cliff notes.
Yeah, so it was seller finance deal in Miami. My buyer actually reached out to me and asked if I wanted to look for some deals for him in Miami. And I said, why not? So that's exactly what I did. And I found something for him and he jumped on it. When he dropped $20,000 of non-refundable EMD, that's when I knew it was real. I was like, oh man, this dude is serious.
Like, we're all in now. We're going forward.
Yeah. He's not walking away from that. So that's when it hit me, like it was real. And it was during the week of Hurricane Milton. That Monday is when he dropped the EMD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
okay.
The title company shut down shortly after that.
I mean, there's got to be in the back of the head, right? You thought of, well, if this title company blows away in this hurricane, what?
Yeah, for sure. That was a concern, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it survived 2 hurricanes and a tornado. Actually, there was a tornado near that property that week. It was crazy.
I mean, that property is still standing, right? It's still good.
For sure, it is.
It made it through. Awesome. That's
sure
great.
Yeah.
If it goes down, just remind them EMD's non-refundable. So
yeah.
No, I'm glad it made it through. That's awesome. That made it a win for everybody. But so you had a buyer lined up before you even found the deal.
Yep, I sure did. And I know there's like mixed opinions on this matter, but if you get a buyer before you get the deal, I think it's just better overall. You know exactly who it's going to. You know what you're looking for. And yeah, I think it's just smarter, in my opinion. You're not rushing as much. You have a lot of time, but I can see how that can limit you as far as buyers go.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's smart to find buyers before, because then you know their buy box. You know exactly what to bring them.
Exactly.
Then you have a better chance of closing the deal. So that's smart. How did you find him?
I was posting some deals on the Facebook page, the free Facebook page, and some other investor sites or Facebook pages, I should say. And I think he just saw what I was posting and, saw that I was active for the most part. It was the important part, I think, that I was active and that he saw multiple posts from me. And And he just reached out to me and scheduled a phone call and showed me his bank account, vetted himself for me. I didn't even have to do that. And that's that.
Man,
It's really cool.
That's the kind of buyer you want, right? Comes with you all prepared and ready to go. Like, that dude's solid.
Yeah. That entire deal was kind of like the stars aligned for me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, everything lined up perfectly. It was almost like a hole in one. Like, from the get go, it felt just right. Like, I knew it was going to work out no matter what.
Right. Yeah, and this was like a subtail, right? Like a creative wholesale deal.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was. It was a on-market seller finance. So my method, I guess you can say, is to call listings immediately and ask them if their client is open to seller finance or any other sort of creative means of selling their property. And usually that comes with a no, but this one agent directed me to the seller of another property, and we got the deal done.
Nice. I mean, it's never about the deal you're calling on. It's always about the connection, right? The relationship.
Exactly. And I'm still in contacts with that seller because he's a flipper in Miami.
Oh, beautiful. Have you done more work with him yet?
I've tried to. I've tried to sell him a deal or two, but it just didn't line up for him. So, but it's open for the future, which is a good thing.
Keeping that connection, keeping that relationship. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. And that was another good thing from that deal is, like, I made a lot of connections in Miami just from that one deal. It was fantastic.
Yeah, but you're based in Utah.
Yep.
How'd you end up in Miami? What took you there for deals?
Well, the buyer, like, he asked me if I was ever, like, looking in the Miami market, and I told him no, but I'd be more than happy to give it a gander. And ironically, that was the first deal that I ever did. And then it became more apparent how difficult the market of Miami really is. Shortly after that, but it's still my main market, South Florida.
Okay. Had you ever looked at Florida before? Was that on your radar at all?
Not at all. Nope, never looked in Florida. I may have glanced in Jacksonville a little bit, but nothing in Miami for sure.
Just going where the buyers are.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Have you built more buyers in that area now that you've done a deal down there?
I have quite a few buyers in Florida that I maintain a relationship with. Nothing's sold yet, but we're still trucking.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
You got it going on. So
yep.
Great deal. And remind everybody what you made on this deal.
Yeah, that was a $10,000 assignment fee, which is, this is another testament to my buyer. He really kind of went out of his way to make sure that he took care of me. Because I wasn't even thinking about my assignment fee when I was negotiating this deal, to be perfectly honest with you. I got, like I said, everything lined up, and I was very, very fortunate. I have a lot of gratitude for that experience.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great learning experience. I mean, for a first time deal, things came together really, because that was your first one, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, things came together really well. That's a win.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
Great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And Cooper, you're also in Utah, right?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
But you're also not doing deals in Utah, right?
That's right. Where are you, Collin?
I'm in Harriman.
I just bought one in January, so we're trying. Where are you?
Harriman.
Where's that?
It's just slightly south of Salt Lake.
Oh, yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm in southern Utah, St. George.
So. Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, I think we're all in Utah. So my first question, why are we not doing deals together in Utah? Yeah. That's my question. You guys going across the East Coast here.
Well, it's funny, man. The Utah market, when I first started, the Utah market seemed a little over my head, and I just, I wasn't super stoked about getting into the market. But now that I've done a deal, I want to get into the market of Utah. I want to get involved in the community here, and see if I can get some deals done,
Yeah. Utah's a little bit of a tricky market. There are deals out there. You kind of got to you got to hunt them, and you got to be pretty creative. And, it's also depending on your goals. I think Utah's a pretty good appreciation market, but
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Cooper, give us the overview of the deal that you did.
Yeah. So my wife and I, we're active buyers and operators, short-term rentals, mid-term rentals, co-living. kind of the gambit there. We're in it for the cash flow, you could say. And our experience was I was in the military, and we pretty much have bought a lot of our portfolio in the 2 military towns where I was stationed. And we just understand the needs for those markets very well and kind of the niche that exists there. And so this deal came from a wholesaler in North Carolina who kind of knew what I was looking for. And he actually bought the property first himself and then offered to carry the sub, or just give me the sub 2, the same terms that he got, like plus an assignment fee kind of thing. So he still got paid on the deal, but we ended up buying this deal $40K under market value, which was really exciting. Made it a win right off the bat. And then we put in just a little bit of elbow grease and turned it from a 3-bed with an office and like 2 living rooms into a 5-bedroom.
Uh-oh, we lost you.
We lost you.
Rent by room style. Oh shoot. Can you hear me now?
We can.
Yep, we got a little delay going on. Or big delay. Oh, we lost you.
Okay. Yeah.
Technical difficulties over here.
That's right. This is live YouTube. It's all good. So no problem. We'll see if we can get this fixed. While he's fixing that, Collin, what were you doing before you got into trying to do real estate?
Yeah, I was doing a number of things trying to, so I got laid off exactly a year from when I got my first deal. I got laid off a year before that. And it was kind of a traumatic experience. The owners of the company that I was working at, they were embezzling money from the company. So they drove it directly into the ground. And yeah, and that was kind of a traumatic experience for me because it was a very fulfilling job that I was doing. And I found a sense of purpose there. I really enjoyed it. And I was there till the end. I helped them clear everything out. I was kind of pseudo security for a little bit of it. And once I finally left there, I was like, man, I'm never going to work for anybody else ever again. I just promised myself that. And so I embarked on this entrepreneur journey that, resulted in a lot of failed Etsy stores and drop shipping attempts. And then I stumbled across wholesaling and saw that it was something that I could do, that I knew for a fact that I 100% could do this. And it gave me, man, it fired me up. It really lit a fire under me. And yeah, it was 5 months before I got the deal is when I started real estate. So just 5 months.
Okay.
Into real estate is when I got it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What was it about wholesaling that really spoke to you and lit that fire? What was that moment where you figured out I can do this?
Yeah, it was just, seeing that you could actually help people, in real estate and make money at the same time. So I go at it like I think I'm here on earth to help other human beings, and it really gave me a sense that that was something that was doable and I could make a decent amount of money doing it in the process. And it was just seeing all these other people that were doing it. I joined a group, is how I found wholesaling. Sorry, it's a helicopter. And I saw all these other people doing it, and really it was just the hardest part was calling the first agent. That was the hardest part. And then it just gets easier from there.
Huh. You mean they're just people and you can actually talk to them? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, exactly. Believe it or not.
Yeah, it's crazy how that works, huh?
It is crazy. It is crazy. But it was a breath of fresh air, and it was so exciting to find an industry where you didn't need any money to get into it. Radar, stop. And it was just, it was really cool. It was really great to find it.
That's awesome. It's really interesting how after you get over the fear of picking up the phone that first time, it almost becomes addicting, and you have a good conversation with somebody and you're like, yeah, let's call the next one.
Yeah, you make friends with these people.
Yeah. It's awesome how that works. So
yeah, it is really cool.
Cooper, we got you back?
I think so. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Perfect. That's good. All right. Hit us up. Hit us with it.
Sure. Yeah. I think I was just explaining we turned a 3-bedroom, 2-bath into a 5-bedroom house that we were then able to rent by the room to soldiers who need a place to live. And So yeah, it's a great situation. There's a big need there, and it's been awesome. It's been a great deal.
And that's kind of, you're specifically targeting soldiers because of that need, right? That's your kind of niche that you're trying to fill. Oh man, we lost you again. Bummer, right?
No.
Oh, you're back.
I think it's a proximity thing. The further you get away, I think it just cuts out totally.
Oh, like the volume. So I need to
but
stay
then you
right
get
here.
closer to it, and then it's there.
Sure. Okay, I'll stay close today. I'll stay close. Hopefully you can hear me. Yeah. So just there's a huge need for those who aren't familiar with the military. When there's enlisted and there's officers. It's kind of two different positions you enter in through. To be an officer, you usually go through college, and there's 3 ways that you then can become an officer. Generally, you have college as a background. Otherwise, you enlist and you're more focused on a single job in the military. That's, kind of oversimplified, but when you enlist and you first start, that's most of your people going in right out of high school. They are forced to kind of live in what's called the barracks. It's like and it depends on where you are, what base or fort you're stationed at. But for the most part, you're either getting like dorm style college living, or you have like a triple bunk bed and you share a giant room with 30 people, And once you reach a certain rank and you progress in your timeline, eventually you do get to move out of the barracks and you get some freedom. And a lot of people have grown up now, like 3 years, 4 years in the barracks. And now they're like, what the heck? Like, I've got to go find a place to live. I got to figure out how to pay utilities. I got to, how do I sign up for internet? And so it is a cool thing. It is a big service that we're like, hey, don't worry about any of that. Guess what? Most of your roommates are also going to base every morning, also soldiers. So it's been satisfying because it is a big help to those people, and we're giving them affordable living as well.
It's got to be pretty nice for people to live with those who understand their situation and their environment and the work stresses that they deal with and all that kind of stuff as well. So
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For anybody out there that doesn't know what the barracks are, if you've ever seen any military movie with a drill sergeant walking through a room full of futons on rusty spring mattress beds, that's the barracks.
That's right.
I don't know if they've got to be better, but
yeah. They're actually condemning a lot of the old, funny enough, I was stationed, my last duty station was Fort Bragg, renamed Fort Liberty, just renamed Fort Bragg. And my great uncle served there in the Vietnam War before he went to Vietnam. He was stationed there. And like we connect and we talk all the time. And he's like, is that barracks still there? And I'm like, yeah, it's still there. He's like, is it still terrible? It's still terrible. So they're condemning these things all the time. And they come into situations where all of a sudden 200 people need off-post housing. And that's where we're hoping to fulfill a need and help.
We had it so good for so long, and then we just cut
out that market and also benefit.
Oh,
really? You lost me again?
I think we just had a little bit of delay there. Yeah.
Okay. I was just saying that, a lot of these housing situations are being condemned. And so all of a sudden 100 soldiers need off-post housing. So,
yeah. And that's, it's nice because when you get off-post housing, you get a little bit of a stipend to use, right? And I would imagine a rent by the room model is probably a little bit less than the average stipend, which gives them more money in their pocket.
Right. Exactly. That's totally the case. Most of the time, especially these lower enlisted individuals, they're basically now getting double their pay. And so we're a much more affordable option than going and signing up to lease a 1-bedroom apartment or a studio somewhere else. And so that's keeping a lot more of that money, of that stipend, called BAH or BAS, in their pockets, which is just awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You're really helping a lot of people doing that. That's super cool. I think super cool.
Oh, I think it's great. Yeah. How do you find military specific people that have a housing need?
Yeah, that's a great question. And like we we have to be careful. We market it to anyone, and one of our tenants right now isn't military. He's a student on an internship in the area, and he's just a great fit. So our applications are open to anyone, and we do try to vet tenants really well for the whole group. That's something you'll find in the co-living rent by room space, is that's definitely something most people advise. But yeah, we put it in. There's plenty of Facebook groups. There's honestly, the most successful way is word of mouth. Like once you can get one and you say, hey, like if you can get someone to sign up, or just come look at the property, happy to give you a gift card to Chili's, like whatever it is. And all of a sudden you'll find like people are like, oh, I don't even care about the gift card to Chili's. Like my best friend is getting his approval to move off post. It would be so awesome. Could we make this work? And it's like, of course, let's do it.
Do you ever worry about best friends living in the same house together? Like, you think they'd get a little rowdy if they're around each other?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty dialed down if operations wise, and my wife kind of helps with that component a whole lot. So our systems are really set up so it's clean, quiet, respectful, and couple strikes and you're out. So everyone knows that, and everyone is just totally crossing their T's, dotting their I's, and they're from the military, so you can kind of be like, hey, this, there's rules here. They're like, we get rules.
Yeah. You get rowdy off site, but at home there's rules. Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense. No, that's great. And how are you guys managing it? You said it sounds like you're managing it yourself, but you're across the country. How's that working?
Yeah, so we self-manage our whole portfolio. We have between North Carolina, Georgia, we have 5 Airbnbs, 1 midterm rental, 1 co-living rental, and then we just bought another one last week and partnered with someone who's handling most of the management on that. But we've successfully just figured out how to build great teams of people, cleaner, landscaper, pool professional, handyman. And if you trust those people and you build systems, it's really easy. Yeah, we were worried about it at first when we were making the move towards family and out here and stuff, but it's been so seamless and trusting, putting trust into people. And it's honestly nicer because when the pipes break, it's not like me going to try to figure it out to save money. We just we honor that profession. Hey, someone else needs to handle this. And it's in a lot of ways actually been like easier than when we managed like locally. So
you've bought back your time and scaled yourself out of the nitty gritty work and taken a more high level approach, which is exactly what a business owner should do. So congratulations for that. That's awesome.
Super cool. Yeah.
Now, I think you had a similar issue that I had in that you were buying traditionally and kind of scaled yourself out, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we got capped pretty much, and we're like, okay, we know how to make money doing this. And I think I mentioned in my podcast that in the first year we pretty much replaced my active infantry officer income with like 1 short-term rental. We're like, holy cow, like we're onto something here. Like this required a few hours of time every week. This is like 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, like sometimes on the weekends. It's like not even close, time wise, for your effort being compensated. And so that's what we ran into, Dustin, exactly, is like, okay, our DTI is just
we lost you again.
Out. We can only partner on conventional loans so much. Rates are changing, and that like really pushed us into the creative space where absolutely anything is possible. And it's just a better arena to play in my opinion.
Right. Yeah. And you are a member of Sub 2 then?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And so that's kind of the scaling out. The problem with buying traditionally is kind of what led you to the creative community. And how did you find
exactly?
How'd you find Sub 2 specifically?
Okay. The first time I think I heard of Pace was on the Iced Coffee Hour podcast, and I'd heard of creative finance. I like that podcast, and I was listening to those guys, and it seemed like some of them weren't understanding what Pace was saying. And I was like, this can't be real. Like, it can't be this good. And then, you know, and that's the beginning of the path. I think for a lot of us, it's just like, that sounds too good to be true. And, you know, a lot of the time when you hear that and you invest some time into investigating it, there's no fruits. You're not seeing, like, you're seeing people like scam. And then it was really quick to be like, no, this is legit. And we did our first one and have not looked back. And now we've done, you know, I think this one that I mentioned on the podcast was our third or fourth creative deal. And yeah, and all of them we've done a little different, whether it's straight sub 2, seller finance, hybrid, lease option, whatever.
That's the benefit of creative, right? You can do anything. So, Collin, you're in sub 2 as well. Is that right?
Yeah. I heard of Pace in the first group that I joined called Hold My Hand Wholesale. And I was like, why do you need to join a mentorship? If you get some deals, you don't need to join a mentorship. And I was like, $10,000 seems like a lot of money. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, wait, there's way more involved than just, you know, a mentorship. There's so much more involved with it, and it makes it totally worth it, I think.
Yeah. I mean, so much so that, you know, he won't even call it a mentorship. He calls it a community or a family. And that's really what it seems to be, right? Is
what it feels like.
More of that community environment rather than mentorship that, you know, teaches everything. There's a place for everyone, and we teach everything that anybody wants to do. So it's really great. So yeah. And that's, do you hold any properties now, or are you just focused on wholesaling?
I'm just focused on wholesaling right now. Eventually I do want to start, holding my own and doing a model very similar to Cooper, which is like rent by the room. You can see that it's definitely the way that most things are going, as far as like rentals are concerned, and kind of sustaining a real estate business is rent by the room. And hopefully one day I'll get there soon.
No, it's smart. Get the active income coming in and then start holding when you're ready for it. But there was a time in this deal, I think you mentioned in the podcast, that you were on the verge of giving up before this deal came through, right?
Oh yeah. I was banging my head against this desk for 5 months before it finally happened. Like, the universe kind of saw me doing that and was like, all right, here's your first deal. Now you know you can do it. Keep doing it, you know?
What kept you hanging on at least long enough to get that first deal? Because I'm sure you had thoughts of giving up before, especially after, you know, Etsy and everything else. Easy to say, well, this is another failed venture, right? What kept you hanging on that little bit longer?
I just knew that I could do it. I knew that it could be done, and I knew that I was fully capable of doing it. I just had to it was a test in believing in myself and, you know, my wherewithal and my fortitude and, like, you know, persistence in the matter. I couldn't give up. Like, I knew that I could do it, so I couldn't give up. I had to keep pushing through it. And the second deal is, you know, turning out to be a little bit more challenging than the first deal, but it's still, again, I know I can do it. And this time I have way more buyers than I did that first time, you know, so I know I can do it. And that thought hasn't left me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Have you connected with anybody in the community to partner with on any of these or anything?
Not yet. I do work with, I say work with him. I'm on his podcast frequently. Mike Jackson.
Yeah, he's great. Love Mike Jackson.
He's phenomenal. He's a great dude. And because for the most part, I kind of targeted seller finance and not subject to. It just seemed a little over my head, and it makes me a little nervous. But his phone calls are specifically low equity sub 2 deals that you have to call on and try to, you know, talk the agent into doing that, or you know, find out how you can help the agent sell their property for their client subject to. And that's been, I can't even describe how much help that's been just in talking to somebody about subject to, you know, and how more people are receptive to it than I thought they were.
Right.
You know? So
That's fantastic. Cooper, was anybody from the community involved in your deal? I see you said you bought it from somebody who bought sub 2. Were they in the community, or you found it randomly?
Yeah, I think he used to be a community leader, actually. His name's Cam Johnson. I think he was a community leader in North Carolina and South Carolina. And he's just wholesaling full time. Basically ran into a situation where he's like, I thought I wanted to operate and own real estate, and realized, like, I'm not very good at that, but I'm really good at wholesaling. And so he just went to sell his whole portfolio. And I think this was one of the last ones that he's like, I built a great relationship with the couple I bought it from. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to hand it off. And so it was kind of interesting because he was almost vetting us in some ways. He's like, I really want it to be. You do have to maintain 2 deals. Off to us, and it's been great.
Good. I think we lost you a little bit there, but I think we got the gist of what you were saying on that. The audio is a little bit rough, but it's okay. So you bought it from somebody in the community. Was anybody else from the community involved? Did you use a TC or anything like that on this one?
No, on this one, just the wholesaler who was a member of the community. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, wonderful. And you've been in sub 2 for like a year and a half, is that right?
Yeah, I think yeah, a little more than that now. Yeah, year and yeah, a year and a half.
Okay. Any advice, any lessons learned over that year and a half that you'd offer out to the audience?
Oh yeah, sure. I think sub 2 is awesome because you can get you could easily be on calls every day. The value, I've joined other mentorships before this one and since this one, and this is like by far and away the best. Like you can, there's so many tools you can put in your tool belt. And I guess a piece of advice I'd have is like consider all the things, but like choose one and try one and take action. And like that won't let you down. And you'll learn pretty quick if you're like, oh, I don't like talking to hundreds of real estate agents, or like I don't like, talking and giving someone my own money. There's just so many places to explore and to go with it. So I'd say just like take action and stay connected. And even if like you miss a month of being on calls or whatever it is, like this community's epic because they'll like meet you where you are. So just show up and they'll take care of you.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you say that. One of the first videos that I watched was the Avatar series that Pace did, and where he walks through kind of all the different things that you can do within investing or creative finance or in general, not just real estate, but across the board. And not everybody has to be a wholesaler. Not everybody has to talk to agents or sellers, or not everybody has to own property. People can be involved in a multitude of different ways. And that was something, it sounds like when you say find something that speaks to you, try it out and give it a shot. That's kind of what happened to me with the Avatar series. So if anybody's interested in kind of getting an idea of what those various options are that you can try out, you can catch that series on his page. It's free to anybody that wants to check it out. So it's a great starting place. I'm glad you brought that up. Collin, how long have you been in the community?
I joined in August, I believe, of last year. I think it was August.
Okay.
Yeah, so not super long. And actually, like this deal, ironically, I joined sub 2 because of all the deals flying around, right? Ironically, this deal that I did had really nothing to do with sub 2. I found it the way that I've always been looking for deals, is calling Zillow listings. I found it and I've managed to navigate it all the way to the finish line on my own, which was a really good experience for me anyway. It taught me a whole lot about how the process works. And I had one member, Jesus, shout out to Jesus, who kind of gave me some advice through this. It was right during the October Nobody Left Behind challenge.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I didn't get to participate much in that challenge, even though I was on a team, because I was navigating this deal to the finish line. All my attention was on that. So I kind of neglected that a little bit.
That's where it should be. No, you got your thing to focus on, and you got it done. And I mean, a deal in 6 months after joining the community ish, or I guess we're further out. You probably closed a while ago, so 5-6 months after joining the community. Is that right?
No, so
you had
joined in August. I closed my first deal closed in October. Like it closed in October, exactly a year after I got laid off, which was the funny part. But yeah, so August. So yeah, 2 months.
Okay.
2 months.
I mean, I love it. You were out there taking action. You're putting in the work. You had leads, obviously, that you've been working. So focusing on that instead of the challenge is great. And now you have this knowledge that you gained from doing this deal that you can bring back to the next No One Left Behind challenge and help out there. So
1,000%.
that's great. And, there's a lot of people that join the community and don't get a deal for 1 or more years in the community, which is fine. Everybody moves at their own pace. But clearly you're out there, making waves and taking action and getting things done, which is great.
100%. Like, I like you gotta be active in the community. Like, post every day or post every week. Like, be consistent about your posts, because that's what people care about. They see that you're active and you're trying to do stuff. That means they see what you're doing and they want to help you do stuff. They want to trust you. It really endears yourself to people if you're making consistent effort to like put your name out there and try to get a deal done.
Right. So it sounds like joining the community was a good choice, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, it was a great choice.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah. Well, both of you guys, what would you say to anybody who might be thinking about it, who might be looking into it, advice for anybody that might be considering it or on the fence or anything like that?
I would say make sure that you have the money to do it first. And then, then you can do it. Make sure that you have the money to do it.
Yeah, I would suggest consume a lot of the free content out there. There's so much of that, and this community is all about leading with value. And so I would say, like, in the free content space, this community Pace gives so much value for free. We were in our first seller finance deal before we were in the community, and then I was like, hey, if we're doing creative and we're going to do this, we better just, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay, I heard something, so I was like, oh no, I'm out again. We were in our first deal before we were in the community, and I was like, okay, this is it. If we're doing it, I want to like have the backup. I want to be a part of this thing. But like, you can easily get into your first deal and try it out with just what's out there for free. So just investigate, and as you make money in this space, like, you will want to bring value back to the people who gave it to you, I think.
Yeah.
By joining. So
when I think partnering with people, right? Like partnering with you guys, if somebody has a deal, they can probably bring it to you guys and you'd be willing to work with them and walk them through things. Right. And so, yeah, I love that community. Like we were talking about, community, family type of environment, in that it doesn't matter whether you're internet. To me, community is like people that kind of have the same sort of views and principles and things like that. So whether you've joined officially or not, if you have that mindset of abundance and go-giver and want to get out there and hustle and take action and do things, you're welcome in our community. So people that want to come work with, like you guys or other members of the community, to see how it goes and get a little education, like you were saying, Cooper, take the free stuff, bring something to a member and partner with them on it and learn.
Yeah, for
Absolutely.
Sure. Like, I love to help people that are just getting into real estate. Like, I love explaining things to new people and trying to help them and like role playing with them. I'm always down for like a phone call, like role play, like one-on-one. If like a group kind of environment makes people uncomfortable, because it does me. Makes me mad uncomfortable to like call people in front of a bunch of people. Yeah. So I love doing that. To me, that gives me actually a lot of fulfillment in just helping new people kind of understand the process a little bit. Because sometimes I need stuff spelled out, other people need stuff spelled out too, and I don't mind doing that,
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So, Collin, what's next for you? What you got working on?
Well, I got a few of these deals that I was doing, that I was calling with Mike Jackson on his podcast. So I'm going to follow up with those today. There's one in Florida and then one in Colorado that I'm going to follow up on. But yeah, like I said, I have buyers in Florida, Texas, and a few in Utah, but not that many in Utah. So if you got deals in either of those states, I can help sort of dispo them.
Okay. So you got a buyers list rolling?
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
What do you need from people? What value can they bring to you that you're going to say, yeah, let's work together? What are you looking for?
Just don't be afraid to actually like make phone calls, and if you need help making calls, like I said, I'm happy to role play with you. I don't really care much about the deals. I just want to help people, feel more comfortable doing it. Really is what I want to do.
Awesome. Cooper, what about you? What are you working on? What you got going on?
Yeah, I'm working right now. We just bought a big co-living rent by room house here in St. George. So we're working on getting that finished. It's a 5-bedroom. How many a ton of bathrooms. Anyways, we're turning it into an 8-bedroom with 2 separate apartments. And we're stoked about it because it's gonna be like a 50% plus cash on cash return in Utah, which anywhere is kind of hard. So we're just super excited about that. I'm working on my first development project. I bought a big piece of land in North Carolina that I'm going to put a quadplex on for traveling nurses, like the midterm rental space. And then just bought a house last week from a partner. It was my first deal that someone brought to me and was like, hey, I want to manage it. I want you to be the money. And I was like, I can do that. Oh, wow. Like I can be that guy now. And I was like, yeah, let me take a look. And so we did it, and I'm kind of hands off there, but the returns look great. So I'm actually stoked about that. And then we kind of pivoted. We had a goal to buy a couple more properties this year, and I want to learn about RALs, residential assisted living. So that's kind of a pivot and something I'm excited about and looking forward to working on.
Yeah, that's awesome. First off, I think anybody will always say, yes, you can be the money.
You're right.
Every investor I know will say, yeah, I'll take your money and put it to work. So hey, do you have contacts with somebody that's doing assisted living now?
I have 2 people on my radar that are in this space, but I'd love fascinating, but especially in Southern Utah is big, and it's something I'm passionate about. So if you know anyone, please send them my way.
Southern Utah is like Utah's Florida. It's where all the Utahns go to retire.
Right.
So, you got the awesome golf down there.
That's right.
You're right. Yeah. No, you guys are right.
It is our retirement community, which is great. And there's a lot of opportunity down there. Wes Grant, it works with assisted livings. He's in the community. He's a good contact. And Kay, I forget how to say her last name, but we got a whole bunch of people in the community that are doing assisted living, which is another great part about the community, right? Is assisted living has a real estate component with it. Do you have to own the real estate to do it? No, it's a business component. Can you still get into it without owning the real estate and be part of the community, and it still be creative, and it still be, there's a place for that. There's a place for that.
Yep.
And you're going to find somebody in the community that does everything that you're wanting to learn about. I mean, there's just so many great people that are doing amazing things, like you guys. You guys are getting out there, taking action, getting after it, and making things happen. You got some great stuff in the works, and have done some great deals already. And that's what this community is all about. So where can people connect with you guys?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook. Just look up my name, Collin Preston. You can also text me or call me at 801-651-7636.
Bold, bro.
That's the best way to get a hold of me. I don't mind.
Yeah, that's the money phone right there, guys. That's the money phone. Cooper, what about you?
That. Yeah, I'm just on Instagram at Win with Wimmer, and then you can look me up, and my number's pretty easy to find too. So,
okay, awesome. Do you guys have any last words of advice for anybody that's watching, listening, thinking about joining the community, jumping in? Any pieces of information, education, advice you'd give them?
Just take that action. Don't quit. Just don't quit.
Love that. Yeah, I think for anyone looking to get in this space, like, creative is about rolling up your shirt sleeves and like just figuring out how to get it done. This isn't like, you're not necessarily going to jump into it and have it super streamlined and have everything easy. Like, you got to bring energy into this to make it work. And so if you're ready to work hard and play hard, this is like.
So you mean take action without knowing everything? Is that you're saying it's okay?
That's it.
Having all the information?
1,000%.
I love it. Alex,
Yeah.
you got any questions?
Yeah, definitely. You sometimes have to fail forward. I know I've heard Pace say that before, and it's so true. You're never going to know every single thing that you need to know before taking action. So there's always wrenches thrown into the mix. So you definitely have to roll with the punches sometimes. But I just have to say, it was so inspiring to hear from both of you today. You know, talking about the community, for a lot of people, it does sound too good to be true. But it was just so powerful that sometimes all you need is that proof of concept, that one deal under your belt to kind of keep moving forward, like you were saying, Collin. So that was truly inspiring. And Cooper, it was so cool to hear how you were kind of almost helping out with this affordability crisis that we're having currently in our market. So just really powerful stuff. Not only are you, you know, building your own empire, you're also helping the people around you. And I feel like that is just an awesome, like, immediate give back. So super cool. Another thing that I wanted to highlight is sometimes, you know, you're not really sure where you need to be starting, and just showing up and rolling your sleeves up and taking that first step is so important. So if you're watching today and you're like, I don't know what the first step is, I don't know like where to even start, and maybe you're not in the community quite yet and you need a little bit of that hand holding. I know, Collin, you mentioned it earlier about the No One Left Behind challenge, but that is an awesome place to start, because you pretty much get immediately like paired up with a team. The first couple of days, Pace and Jamil are going to be on there kind of talking about a business structure. They previously had a TV show together about like flipping houses, and, you know, Pace, of course, finance. So they really have this back knowledge that can kind of give you that little bit of extra hand holding, and then get placed on a team. So super cool. If you're interested in that, I'll go ahead and drop that link in the comments section as well. But for the most part, you know, just get involved. Annoy the crap out of Collin and Cooper. They want to hear from you. And lastly, I just wanted to make sure that I'm thanking all three of you. Y'all, these three guys, they are here out of the kindness of their own heart. They're spending their hard-earned time with you. So please make sure that you're showing them some love even after this live. And does anybody have any closing thoughts for us before we wrap things up?
No, I just appreciate the opportunity to get on and talk to you guys. It's been great. It's been really awesome.
Awesome. It looks like William already signed up for the NOLB challenge. So we'll see you all there on the 16th. And then hopefully we'll see y'all at Squad Up Summit as well.
Yes. Yes. Get in those rooms. That's the place to be. You got to get around people doing the stuff, feel the energy. It's amazing. It's incredible. Nothing like this community or the energy in those rooms. So if anybody's thinking about it on the fence, go.
Awesome. Love to hear it. Well, thank you all for joining today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Thursday.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.